I want to talk about dragons. The dragon is different from every other creature we've discussed. All the previously aforementioned animals exist. All these totems are real. You can walk into the wilderness and encounter them. The dragon is different. Though they may talk of them, no hunter, explorer, or naturalist has seen one. No one has ever found the skeleton of a dragon. Not quite. Yet the dragon may be the most powerful creature humanity has ever known. Because the dragon is not an animal. The dragon is an idea. More specifically, the dragon is what happens when symbols evolve. Throughout history, humanity lived among animals. The serpent, the raven, the bull, the eagle. People did not merely observe them, they learned from them. They projected themselves onto them. The serpent became transformation. The raven became memory. The frog, emergence. The bull, power and sacrifice. The eagle became supremacy, vision, authority, and empire. Animals become symbols. Symbols become stories. Stories become myths. And eventually something strange happened. Humanity stopped discovering totems and began creating them. The dragon is the greatest example. Look at the dragon. What is it? The body of a serpent, wings of an eagle, a lion's claws, crocodilian scales, the strength of a bull. The dragon is not one creature. It is many fused together. A chimera. A creature built from symbols. The dragon is the first totem made from other totems. It contains the animal world within itself, yet it is far more than the animal world. The dragon represents a new stage in symbolic evolution. The dragon is the apex totem, the final form, the point at which symbols become self-aware. It is what happens when mythology begins creating mythology. This may be why they appear almost everywhere. Different names, appearances, or stories, yet somehow familiar. A civilization may never meet another civilization and still create a dragon. Because eventually every civilization encounters the same problem. How do you represent power beyond ordinary experience? How do you represent reality itself? Eagles, bulls, serpents are all powerful totems. But what do you create when none of them are enough? You create a dragon. The dragon is concentrated meaning, concentrated power, concentrated symbolism. It is the king of monsters because it contains all lesser monsters within itself. The dragon is more than power. It is synthesis. It is the union of opposites. Perhaps the deepest example of this synthesis is found in the serpent and the eagle. Throughout history, these creatures often stand opposed. One belongs to the earth, the other the sky. The serpent is hidden, the eagle visible. The serpent moves below, the eagle above. The dragon combines. The dragon is the serpent that has taken flight. It is the eagle that has descended to earth. It unites heaven and earth, above and below, instinct and authority, nature and civilization. The dragon is not merely another creature, it is reconciliation. This may be why so many imperial symbols move towards the same territory. The eagle is no longer enough and becomes the double-headed eagle, a monster. One head looking east, the other west. One creature occupying multiple realms. The dragon completes the process. It is no longer merely a ruler. It becomes totality. The dragon transcends realms, earth and heaven, creation and destruction, wisdom and violence, order and chaos. The dragon unites what should remain separate. Perhaps that is why dragons feel sacred, because they are impossible. As civilizations become larger, so too did their symbols. A tribe may worship a serpent, a king may revere an eagle, but civilization will always give rise to dragons. The dragon belongs to civilization, to cities, to writing, to memory, to accumulated culture. The dragon appears when stories become large enough to breed with one another, when symbols begin combining and evolving, when humanity starts creating worlds instead of merely inhabiting them. This is why the dragon often appears near the beginning of creation itself. Again and again across cultures, the world begins with a confrontation. Before order comes chaos. Before civilization, wilderness. Before heroes come monsters. A great serpent, a sea beast, a chaos dragon, a primordial being. The details change, the pattern remains. The dragon stands at the threshold between what is and what could be. Reality emerges through confrontation. The dragon is often the first enemy because it is the first problem, not a villain, a condition of existence itself. The dragon is what makes movement necessary. And often in these stories, the dragon is what is taken apart to make the world itself. The dragon does not merely guard treasure, it creates the conditions under which treasure can exist. Without a dragon, there is no quest, there is no adventure, no reason to leave home. The beast creates the hero, not intentionally, structurally. A world without dragons is a world without stories. It is not merely an enemy. It is an obstacle, a challenge, the first thing that says no. And it is through confrontation with that resistance that worlds are built. The thing that stands between the world as it is and the world that could be. The treasure is not merely gold, it is possibility, knowledge, power, wisdom, transformation, the future itself. This is why dragons guard treasure. The thing most worth obtaining is often hidden behind the thing most feared. The dragon guards the reward because the dragon is the trial. The hero and the dragon create one another. A small worm creates a small hero. A great Leviathan creates a hero whose deeds will echo throughout eternity. The greater the challenge, the greater the transformation. The first dragon is not a beast, but the world itself. The ocean, the wilderness, the storm, the mountain, the plague, the darkness beyond the campfire, the unknown. Everything ancient humanity feared, everything we fear, everything beyond control, beyond understanding. It is the unconquered world. Every field cleared from a forest, every river crossed, every frontier settled, every civilization built. These are stories of dragon slaying. Humanity spent thousands of years defeating dragons. And then something strange happened. We conquered one dragon and created another. The village becomes a city, the city a kingdom, and that kingdom an empire. That empire becomes a dragon. Dragons never disappear because humanity will never run out of them. We build them. One age fears wilderness, another war. One fears famine, another empire, another machines, another itself. The faces change, the dragon remains. Because dragons represent forces too large to easily comprehend. Forces that threaten us, that tempt us, that transform us. It is catastrophe, opportunity, death, rebirth. Yet dragons are not merely feared, they are admired. People do not decorate their banners with rabbits. They do not carve sparrows into thrones. They do not tell stories of heroes crossing continents to confront a toad. We are drawn towards dragons, not because dragons are good, because dragons are great. They are awesome, terrible, magnificent. It possesses a scale that demands attention. It dominates the imagination because it dominates everything around it. It is the thing that cannot be ignored, the greatest challenge imaginable and the greatest transformation. Nobody dreams of slaying a mouse. The hero seeks the dragon because the hero seeks becoming. And nowhere is this dual nature more obvious than in fire. Why do dragons breathe fire? Fire destroys, but fire also creates. It cooks, forges, hardens pottery, clears brush, transforms landscapes. Civilization itself is built upon controlled fire. The dragon does not merely possess destruction, it possesses creation. The same force that burns a city can build one. This dichotomy appears everywhere, nowhere more clearly than in humanity itself. The dragon ceases to be something outside us, becomes a reflection of us. The dragon is nature, but it is also the nature of man. It is wilderness, but it is also civilization. The dragon is beast and empire. The dragon is what Rome becomes, inevitably, not just from city to republic to empire, but it is the force itself that drives it. That is why dragons and kings are so often linked. The king slays the dragon or rides it, it bears the dragon banner or becomes a dragon. Both occupy the highest point in hierarchy. They command power. They shape the lives of countless others. They can become tyrannical. The dragon is sovereignty itself, elevated beyond ordinary humanity. The dragon and king are reflections of one another. The difference is that eventually the dragon becomes larger than the king, larger than any individual. The dragon becomes the state, the empire, the machine itself. The thing that outlives those who built it. Not the republic, not the city. The thing it eventually grows into. An immortal, vast organism extending across continents, accumulating wealth, territory, power, memory. A dragon's hoard is not merely gold. It expands, dominates, consumes, and survives generations. It becomes larger than the individuals who compose it. A Leviathan or behemoth, world serpent, cosmic monster. The dragon is what happens when power becomes larger than any individual person. It is what happens when human organization becomes alive. The dragon is civilization viewed as an organism, a living thing composed of countless humans. Not every culture viewed dragons as evil. In many Western traditions, they burn down villages, devour kingdoms. Yet many Eastern traditions have dragons bringing rain, rivers, fertility, prosperity, and wisdom. At first, they seem completely different, but they are not. Both traditions agree on one thing: the dragon represents power beyond ordinary humanity. This power can be benevolent or dangerous. The same river that nourishes a civilization can destroy it. The same fire that fuels a city can burn it. The same dragon that protects can consume. This is even more true today than it was in the past. Ancient dragons breathe fire. Modern dragons split atoms. Ancient dragons ruled mountains. Modern dragons rule continents. Ancient ones guarded treasure. Modern ones guard information. Ancient dragons were too large for individuals to control. Modern dragons are too large for individuals to control. Nation states, global corporations, artificial intelligence, financial systems, technological networks spanning the entire world, weapons that can destroy us all. The dragon never disappeared. Its body simply changed. Humanity still creates dragons. The dragon may be the largest thing the imagination knows how to create. Whenever humanity encounters something beyond ordinary scale, it tends to create dragons. The ocean, the storm, the wilderness, the empire, history, even gods take draconic form. Again and again, the same pattern emerges. When reality exceeds ordinary categories, it becomes dragon-shaped. It is a language for speaking about forces too large to fully comprehend. It is scale itself, magnitude. It is what happens when reality exceeds ordinary categories. It may be humanity's greatest symbolic invention, the first creature built entirely from ideas. It may be the first truly synthetic archetype, the ancestor of countless fictional beings that followed, the ancestor of monsters, giants, demons, superheroes, comic book characters, entire fictional universes. Totems do not begin with dragons. People first had to understand serpents, ravens, frogs, bulls, and eagles. Only then, only after observing the world, can you understand the dragon, because it contains them all. It transforms, it remembers, it emerges, it sacrifices, it rules, and it becomes. It is a symbol of things growing beyond what they once were, beyond categories, beyond boundaries, beyond themselves. It is not static, it is evolutionary. It is what emerges when smaller things combine into something larger, when symbols combine, when stories combine, when humanity itself combines into something greater than any individual. It is memory, emergence, transformation, sacrifice, supremacy, power, ambition, civilization, and story itself fused into a single image. It is our collective imagination. It is a culmination of animals, totems, of stories. It is the monster that creates heroes, the chaos from which worlds emerge, the force that builds empires and destroys them. It is the beast that guards the future, the first creature humanity created, and perhaps the last creature humanity becomes. All other animals are found in nature, but the dragon exists in our imagination and is found in history. It is found whenever nature becomes history. It appears whenever power accumulates, whenever stories grow large enough, whenever civilizations begin imagining themselves. The dragon is civilization dreaming about itself.